The highly anticipated showdown between Jake Paul and the legendary Mike Tyson unfolded in a way few could have foreseen. For months, fans speculated about Tyson's potential to dominate despite his advanced age. But the fight painted a somber picture of the realities of time. From the opening bell, Tyson showed glimpses of his old self. In the first 2 rounds, his movements were measured but effective, his jab connecting sporadically, and his defense keeping Paul cautious. Yet, even during these fleeting moments, there was a noticeable lack of the explosive power and speed that had once made him the most feared man in boxing. The early rounds were competitive, with Tyson displaying just enough to remind the audience of his former greatness. However, as the fight progressed into the 3rd round, the cracks began to show. Tyson's activity level dropped sharply, and his movements grew sluggish. His punches lacked snap, and his once imposing footwork turned into slow, labored steps. Jake Paul, to his credit, seized the opportunity. By the middle rounds, he was landing clean shots with increasing regularity, almost effortlessly evading Tyson's limited offense. Paul's superior conditioning and youthful energy became evident as he dictated the pace of the fight. Tyson's struggles with endurance were glaring. His breathing grew heavier with each passing round, and his trademark explosiveness was entirely absent. Even with only 8 rounds at 2 minutes each, the fight seemed like an uphill battle for the aging icon. By the 6th round, it was clear that Tyson was running on fumes. Paul capitalized, landing combinations and scoring points while Tyson could do little more than absorb the punishment. Compared to his training videos and his performance against Roy Jones Jr., Tyson's showing in this fight was significantly worse. In those previous instances, he displayed surprising agility, explosiveness, and speed for his age, leading fans to believe he could still compete at a high level. In this bout, however, he appeared slow and lethargic. The lack of sharpness and energy was stark and disappointing. The final rounds were particularly tough to watch for fans of the boxing legend. Jake Paul, who had entered the fight as the underdog in the eyes of some, looked almost comfortable against the once mighty Tyson. His punches found their mark with ease, and Tyson's attempts to counter were slow and ineffective. It was a sobering sight for those who remembered Tyson as the devastating force of nature who once dismantled opponents in seconds. When the final bell rang, there was little doubt about the outcome. Jake Paul was declared the winner by unanimous decision, a verdict that reflected his dominance in the later rounds. While Paul's victory adds another win to his controversial yet growing boxing career, it also casts a shadow over Tyson's legacy. Watching a once unstoppable legend struggle so visibly was heartbreaking for fans who had hoped for a more competitive fight. To his credit, Mike Tyson remains a physical marvel for his age. Competing in a professional bout at his stage of life is an achievement in itself, and his ability to step into the ring against a younger, more active athlete speaks volumes about his determination and warrior spirit. Yet, the fight underscored the harsh reality that even the greatest cannot escape the passage of time. Tyson's lack of stamina, diminished power, and limited mobility made it clear that he is no longer capable of competing at the highest level. The decision to take this fight will undoubtedly be scrutinized, as it adds another loss to Tyson's professional record, a blemish that some feel was unnecessary and avoidable. For a fighter whose legacy was built on unparalleled dominance, moments like these can feel like a disservice to his storied career. While Tyson's performance was admirable given the circumstances, it's hard not to wonder how different the outcome would have been if he were 30 years younger. In the aftermath of the fight, Tyson hinted that this might not be his final bout. Should Tyson continue to compete, or is it time for him to hang up the gloves for good? While his passion for the sport is undeniable, the risks of continuing are significant. Each fight poses a greater challenge to his health and could further tarnish his legacy. Ultimately, Tyson deserves immense respect for his contributions to boxing and for stepping into the ring once more to entertain his fans. But this fight serves as a stark reminder that even legends have limits. The question now falls to the fans. Should Mike Tyson retire for good, or do you believe he has more to offer in the ring? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. Tyson's place in boxing history is unshakable, and his courage to fight on will always be remembered.